Hello everyone, and welcome back to Around the Pin, the official Golfletes podcast sponsored by Smashletes. My name is Ryan, and I'm the creator and owner of the Smashletes brand, and I want to thank you all for tuning in to our third installment of Around the Pin. Today I'll once again be joined by my co-hosts Jesse Kelly, Brian Doss, Scott Shearer, and Hunter Hollis. We'll be going over a handful of topics in and around the world of golf, including the 3M Open this past weekend, the GCAA Amateur Series announcement, a fan favorite segment known as the Golfletes Hall of Fame, a brand new segment we like to call This or That, and finishing off the show, we'll discuss the WGC FedEx St. Jude Invitational and our picks for this upcoming weekend. I want to thank you all again for tuning into this week's episode of Around the Pin, and I do hope you enjoy. Like always, I'll pass this over to Scotty to get the ball rolling.
Welcome in, everybody, to today's episode of Around the Pin, episode 3. Before we get started, I have a few things. First off, if you're not following us on social media like Instagram, Twitter, TikTok, go follow us. It's simply at Golfletes, and the Twitter is at Golfletes1. You'll see it above or below our screen here if you're watching. And also, before we get started, thank you guys for watching. We've had 2 great episodes up to now, and we just cannot thank you guys enough. This show would not be possible without you guys. Also, we have a new page that we are introducing, and I will pull it up here so I can get this information correct for you guys. ATH Outdoors. This is our Smashletes Outdoors page. It's very new, but it's going to be great, and looking forward here in the next few weeks. It's going to be awesome. There's going to be some great content. A few of the fellas here on this podcast will be involved with that page, so go give them a follow. Go give them a like on Instagram. It's going to be awesome. So without further ado, we'll start with today's episode. The 3M Open just concluded this past weekend. Michael Thompson takes home the victory with a score of 19 under and a prize of $1.2 million. Pretty hefty. Nothing we haven't seen, but pretty hefty. Heard a lot of good things about Michael Thompson and just his character and the guy that he is. The one thing that stood out to me definitely was his highest score of the 4 rounds was a 68. So that's pretty good.
Pretty good
Especially
day.
That's a pretty good day. So highest of the 4 rounds, 68. He earned 500 FedEx points, putting him in 46th place.
Wow. Which
Which means that qualifies him for Memphis this upcoming weekend.
Yep.
So big news there. Yep. Congrats. We will get to that later. Gosh, I've been waiting for this episode, fellas, for weeks. I mean, going back, I think we should be over a month now in the work that we've put in for this. We've only got 2 episodes out right now. This will be our 3rd. We've been practicing for weeks and weeks before this. But I've been waiting for this week for a long time. This is the week that the guys will be coming to Memphis. But anyway, yes, so he earned 500 FedEx points, puts him at 46, so he will be in Memphis this weekend. It was Thompson's 2nd win of his 10-year career, and it's first since 2013.
wow.
That is a trailblazer, man. That guy has been doing it for a while. He's 35 years old, and this was my favorite part of him winning this. We're not going to spend a whole lot of time on this weekend, but this was my favorite part. One thing that I did want to bring up. Winning this weekend actually earned him 2 years exemption on the PGA Tour. So for those of you who don't know, maybe the listeners really don't understand what that means. What that means is basically you are invited back to play in all the future tournaments. Obviously you have to qualify for majors, but all of the tournaments that you'll see week in and week out, an exemption gives you the opportunity to play. So that was just awesome. And yeah, and it also, his win this weekend guaranteed him a spot in this year's first 2 majors, the PGA Championship and the U.S. Open. And he also got an invite to next April's Masters tournament. So that's the Masters tournament that will be back on schedule next year.
Yeah.
So yeah,
That's huge.
dude. On top of having a good
weekend.
weekend, he had some good stuff come and follow that. One quote that he actually said, he was just so emotional, man, and it was awesome. One thing that we have jotted down here that he said in his post interview was, I was so excited, and I have to get my mind right for sweating next week in Memphis, but oh man, it's just so exciting.
Oh, it's gonna.
How about that?
Yeah.
That's
How about
awesome.
that, man? That's awesome, man.
It just goes to show that, we get to watch guys like Dustin Johnson and Rory and,
all these big names win all the time, but then you hear a guy like Michael Thompson wins. It's kind of like a reminder where, like a regular guy can just come on tour and grind it out. He's trying to earn a living. It's not just like he's just super studded like star power. He's just out there trying to make a living and grind, and things went his way this week. So good for Michael Thompson.
That's
Absolutely.
Right. I thought it was really cool
kind
of looking at stuff. And Shane Bacon, the Fox Sportcaster, had a tweet that came out, and he said the craziest thing about pro golf is you get guys that you don't know a lot about, guys that aren't stuffed down your throat weekly, who have so much game and presence down the stretch. Thompson is hitting golf shots, wild considering his winless streak. Dudes are good. Just kind of giving a little hype. This guy's been grinding. It's pretty cool. Yeah. I think it's really cool.
It's awesome, man. And we don't actually have this one written down, but there was also another quote that was part of his interview where they asked him about getting the 2-year exemption. Because I think these guys kind of know, especially guys like him who is at the top of the leaderboard going into Sunday, if I do win, if I do well today, they kind of know what they're going to get. Not necessarily prize money, but like stuff like this, like exemptions and invitations to future tournaments. So they kind of know. But they asked him about this 2-year exemption, what it meant to him. And it didn't necessarily break my heart. That's not the right way to say it, but it really touched me. Because he said, getting the 2-year exemption is great and all, but it means more to my family because that's 2 more years that I can provide for my family and put myself in a position to earn earn a living.
Wow.
And I was like, man, like that's a good dude.
That's
cool.
A
family man.
That's really cool.
That was awesome, man. Like
family
man. I have just chills just talking about it.
Making a living doing what he loves.
But it was awesome, man, and it was really cool to see him like looking forward to Memphis. That's, we'll talk about that. We will mention that probably 1,000 times this episode. But we're all Memphis guys. We've said that. If you've listened before, you know that. So we take a lot of pride in where we live and where we've all grown up, and it's just really cool to see a guy that's not from around here, that grew up somewhere completely different, and gets to do what we do for fun, for a living, and he looks forward to coming to where we are and where we've grown up. So that's just really cool for me.
Shouts out Southwind.
Yeah, shout out Southwind, man. So talking about us and where we're from, man, let's talk about some things that we did this week before we move on to our next topic. Brian, you had something that you were talking about before we started. So what do you got this week, man?
Yeah, man, I was just going to say, for our listeners that have been tuning in on the past two podcasts, we got a big group tourney coming up. Been working on my wedge game. Gonna try to pull out some lefty skills out in the yard. Working on some tight lies, working on some not so good lies. So we'll see how it pans out for me though.
Awesome, man. I know what Tal's gonna say, so I want to save Tal for last.
Oh.
I know what he's coming with.
I'm excited.
I want to get through everybody else before Tal gets to his. So. Jesse or Hunter, if either of you guys have anything, I'll let you go, and then I'll go, and then let Tal go.
I have a pretty recent story. So yesterday, obviously, all you guys know, I shot I was playing, out at Somerville, and I shot a 36 on the front, and I text you guys, and I'm like, feeling pretty good right now. Today could be the day, guys. And then about 5 minutes later, I'm like in the fairway, and I get a text back from Tal and says, "Way to jinx it." And I was like, screw that guy. I was like, you know what? I was like, I'm about to show them that, that stuff's not true. Like, I'm just going to keep playing par golf and, move on and go about my day and try and shoot my first even round. Blew up on the back, shot freaking over for 78, man. I just didn't even sniff 72. So,
oh, man.
It's what it is. We'll get there one day.
Oh, no, what do you got, man?
It'll happen.
I didn't do much. I had family in this weekend. I hit a few balls last week. Didn't get out today because I was working late, but just trying to get some range work in. Had family in at the lake last weekend. Spent some time out there. Had a few too many Miller Lights in reference to last week's pod. But other than that, Diet Millers. Yes, Diet Millers. I apologize. As you can see, man. They did a little bit to the brain cells. Or just living the dream. Got to get some work in this week, though.
I can respect that.
Here we go. So the last thing before we get to Mr. Tal's big story, I actually did something that was actually really cool. this week. This is something that every single one of you guys can do. You guys, the listeners, everybody can do this. I'm a big Bridgestone guy. I've always used Bridgestone balls. And they have this thing where you can record yourself in slow motion, send your video into them, answer a few questions, and it takes about 2 days, and they will send you back all the analytics of your swing. So what I did was, like I said, I sent them the video, answered a few questions, and I got back club head speed, ball speed, launch angle, spin rate, all these numbers. And it was awesome, dude. And even, just from doing it, I got a free sample. So I got a free sleeve of the Bridgestone balls. And the purpose of this is it's supposed to be for them to recommend what ball of theirs that you should use. So it was super cool, man. And I won't go into my numbers specifically, but it was super cool because, of course, when I got it all back, the first thing I did was I saw spin rate, and that was the one that stood out to me because that's a number that we never talk about.
Mm-hmm.
And then the first thing I did was go to Google and go, average spin rate for PGA Tour. And I
Gotta find out.
Gotta see my. So
Did
I
you
will
compare?
say, I have it. So I have it pulled up here. I didn't want.
Yeah, I
I didn't
knew
want to
you
do
did.
this, man.
Well, don't bring it up. Now you're on the spot.
That sounds like me, like
Well,
back in the day when we would do like the cup stacking tournaments. There was like a rate, where, like,
Dude,
it was like
throwback.
world class. And I hit it one time, and I was like, "Oh my god, I'm gonna be a world champion! Here it comes, boys!" And I was freaking out over it. Never touched it again.
That's okay.
Oh man, I was big into the cups, dude.
Oh, it was
So,
huge.
So I'll say my number first. So just for spin rate, since we were just talking about it, I had a spin rate of 2,719 RPMs. So
What
2719.
club are you using?
This is driver. All these numbers are for driver
Okay.
only.
Okay, cool.
Okay.
So 2719 was my RPMs. The tour average for a driver is 2686.
Hey,
So I was about 100. I was about 100 off, a little bit more than 100. So what that means is that mine spins a little bit more than the PGA Tour Pro, like on average, which is why a lot of the times spin is what causes this direction, all the slice and hook and stuff. So that's what's cool about this is I can see that and I can go, okay, well I just need to center the ball up and better my club face, make it spin less, and I'll be a little more accurate. That was kind of the more nerdy one, but like we'll go to
easier said than done.
yeah.
Yeah.
Here was my favorite one. Launch angle 10.9 degrees. That's the relation from the ground to where the ball takes off after contact. The PGA Tour average was 10.9 degrees, and mine was 10.9 degrees, fellas.
Good for you, old
Ooh.
son.
Maybe, maybe I missed my calling, man. I don't know.
Scotty, what ball did they recommend for you?
So I use the Tour BXS, which is pretty much their highest velocity ball, the one that's made for your fastest swing speeds, and it's like 110 and above. So they recommended to me the Tour BX, which is the one step below because I was at 109. So like one more miles per hour, and I would have got what I already use. But the tour average for ball speed is 168, and I was at 160. So about 8 miles an hour off.
Cool.
Wow.
Wow.
So, but I mean, it's cool to just know that kind of stuff, and like I said, it can kind of teach you a little bit about your game and maybe help you out, and
Heck yeah.
it's free. It's free, so it's super fun to do. So
Yeah,
that was my week. We just spent way too long,
pretty cool.
way too long talking about that, but it was fun to do and kind of interesting.
Yeah.
So I want to know
Um,
how many videos did you take before you sent the one in? Like how many takes was there? At least there had to be at least 15 takes.
So what I did was I went through because I knew I was going to do it. I saw it advertised. They advertise it a lot on their social media, and so I was like, I'm just going to go through my typical range session, which is starting at my lowest wedge, and I'll skip about a club and go up and up and up all the way up to my driver. So that way, once I get to my driver, I'll hit a few, but as far as like my body goes, I'm warm and I'm loose. And so I hit like 2 or 3 without filming it just to make sure I was like centering the club face, or at least relatively so. And then about on the 4th one, I started recording, and I just waited till I hit a good one, and that's the one I sent in. So
Recorded
it was
about,
fun, man.
about 9 or 10.
That's not bad.
yeah,
I was gonna say I'd be out there all day trying to find the perfect one just to send in. It'd take about 100 swings.
yeah, dude. But it's cool, man. They have like they give you an actual like a Bridgestone ball fitting representative to email you back and give you all your numbers, and they even said if you have any questions about your numbers, ask us. We'll talk to you about it. So it was super cool.
That's really cool.
That's awesome.
So not a sponsorship for Bridgestone or an advertisement, but try it out. It's super cool. Maybe we'll get there one day. Let's move in to our next topic. We spent way too long on that. Sorry about that. I feel selfish.
Oh, we never heard what Taos was.
Oh
Yeah,
shoot!
it's Tao.
So,
Oh, gosh.
gentlemen,
It's the whole reason we did it.
I shot a new PR on the
Let's
course.
hear it, Tao.
I shot a wonderful 89, which
Let's
is
go.
not wonderful, but hey, for me, I'm pretty excited about that. Now, I didn't tell you guys this. I told Jesse this, and which made it even cooler to me, is I shot an 89 from the tips. Not just from the men's
Oh.
tees. I shot it from the tips.
Damn.
Oh,
Dang.
big sticky.
I went to the course
Damn.
originally, just to go play on the men's tees, and I got partnered up with somebody I'd never met. We both had the same tee time, and he was like, "I guess we're playing together today," and I was like, "Hey, down, I'm cool with that." And he goes and puts his ball straight at the black tees, and I was like, "No, no." So I'm not going to let him outdrive me. So naturally, I went up there and swung out of my shoes. And you guys know Quail Ridge, that first hole, if you slice it, you're done for. You are done.
Get him in my day.
And I hit it straight, and I was like, thank God. Thank you for that. So, but no, I played really well, and I was super surprised. I think I shot
for you, dude.
a
That's awesome.
43 on the back and a 46 on the front. So I was like, oh. Yeah, I was freaking out.
Nice.
Good
That
job,
reminds
man.
me of the time we were playing hungover up here one of these times. So we were going to play from the white tees, and then the local college golf team showed up. The girls' golf team showed up, and we were like, let's go ahead and back that ball up a little
Let's
bit.
go.
Go ahead and bring it all back to the blue
Back it on
tees. Bad day.
And Tao, you had the missus with you for the first time.
I did.
Am I right?
And she is now
That's-
going to hold
that's
that
quite-
over for me forever. She's going to be like, well, I'm clearly your good luck charm, so you have to take me.
I was
Oh,
gonna
boy.
say, man, that's quite
That's
the
right.
time to shoot your personal best. That is
Oh,
probably the
it
best time to shoot.
Yeah,
your
she
personal
saw
best.
me. She saw me go through all the emotions of super happy, super like stressed out of like I have to make this putt, and then being like let's go, right after I was going
Yeah.
crazy. It was pretty
That's
cool.
awesome, man. Congratulations, man.
Thank you.
Yeah, man.
We love that.
That's awesome.
We love it when we do good.
Yes, sir.
So
Here's the 79.
Speaking of, yeah, dude, I've been trying to get 79 for I don't know months, my whole career, and
Yeah.
I haven't got there yet. So, but speaking of college golf teams, huge news in the golf world this week that just came out. The GCAA, which if you don't know, which most of you I'm sure don't, because I didn't, is the Golf Coaches Association of America. They announced the launch of an amateur tournament series. So pretty much, it's just like a amateur tour, right? And I saw this, I was like, huh. I mean, that's interesting. How does this work? Pretty much, I did some digging, read some articles. It has a schedule of 11 two-day 54-hole events, which have some that are probably going to be added on here as we get closer to time. But here's the interesting part is that tournaments are open to male or female players. The only thing they have to be on an official roster from either this past school year's roster or coming up this next school year, which is about to start. So they have to be on either one of those rosters. They pretty much have to be an official player for the school.
Mm-hmm.
They can't just be like, oh, yeah, I play at so-and-so school, and they're just saying that. They really don't.
Sure.
But, we can't have any average Joes coming out there and playing. But so as long as they're on one of those rosters, they could be NAIA, NCAA, D1, D2, D3, or JUCO. They can play. Here are the catches. The entry fee for each tournament is $265, and that pretty much gets you 3 rounds of golf. Because it's like I said, it's 54 holes,
Mm-hmm.
so that's 3 rounds of golf. So it's $265. Practice rounds are not included in that. You have to pay for that too. That's usually the day before, and they guarantee a minimum of 60 golfers per tournament and a maximum of 84. So a good sized field. and the World Amateur Golf Ranking will recognize these events. So pretty much, if you're an amateur, play at a college, and you go play these events, and you win one, those points that you would normally get go towards your profile, your amateur profile,
Wow.
or
That's pretty
hopefully
cool.
hopefully your future professional
That's cool.
career.
Yeah, that's really cool.
So I currently have a roommate who plays golf here at Union, which is a Division II school in Jackson, Tennessee. And I told him, I was like, "Hey man, did you hear about this? Like, this is super cool. Like, they have a tour going on." And he looked at the list of tournaments, and one of them is Pinehurst number 6. That's one of the events,
Wow.
one of the weekends, one of the locations. And he's looking, and he's like, "You're telling me that I can pay $265, play at Pinehurst number 6 3 times, and if I do well, get points towards my amateur profile?" Yeah, he's like, "Count me in. I'm all in."
Absolutely.
Which is,
That's
dude.
pretty
I mean,
cool.
That's
and
awesome.
and there's some other really good ones. The one that I do want to pull up is pretty cool because I think it's pretty close to Brian, actually. Which Brian, for those of you who don't know, lives in Arkansas.
do.
I can read off some of these notable ones. Obviously, the first one is Pinehurst number 6. Anytime you get to play any of the Pinehurst courses, it's insane.
Mhm.
Would love to play
But
one.
the one I wanted, we would love to play one.
Yeah.
If you work at Pinehurst and you hear this, shout us out or something. Look us up.
Give us some
So
love.
now I'm probably gonna mispronounce this, Brian. So
Okay.
so
boy.
please, it's a country club out in Arkansas.
Must be
It's
South Arkansas.
Gosh, I don't even know how to start. Maymel, Arkansas. Manuel.
Maumelle.
Maumelle, that's it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
There you go.
Maumelle,
Maumelle.
Arkansas. Maumelle Country Club is one. It's actually
cool.
It's the last stop on the list.
That's over by
There's
Little Rock,
3.
isn't it? Kind of.
Is it?
Is it?
I think it is.
I have no idea.
I'm looking it up right now.
Pretty sure it's over by Little Rock.
That's the last stop. There's 3 that are in August.
Yeah, it's just northwest of Little Rock. That's right on the
okay.
Arkansas River.
That's cool.
Is it really?
So,
Yeah.
so for those of you who aren't as, I work at Union, so I'm kind of directly involved with some of the athletics here. So, and we are in the Gulf South Conference, and we just released a few weeks ago that we were going to push all of our starts back till September. So sports like volleyball and soccer that usually start in August won't start until September at the earliest. And we know that golf usually has a fall season and a spring season. But what I wanted to bring up was what junior college did. All of junior college sports are not going to be played in the fall. All of those fall sports will be pushed to the spring. So I want to see you guys' opinion on who benefits from this the most. So you see a tour here that all these college players can go to. Some will have college events in the fall, some won't. But all of them can come and do this. They can all earn amateur points. But the thing is, none of it's getting paid for. They have to pay out of their own pocket. So who do you guys think, and this is open to the table, who do you guys think benefits the most or maybe benefits the least?
Let me ask a question before I answer that. So I know it's on an official roster, right, at your school.
Correct.
Is it only golf, or is that all athletes?
This is only golf.
Only golf. Okay.
Yes,
That's
they
what I
have to
thought.
be-
I just wanted to make sure.
Mhm. Yes.
It seems like for us, for baseball guys know this, it seems like summer ball almost, like the Cape Cod League
Right.
Yeah.
for college baseball guys or something like that. I
Just-
guess while I'm talking, I'll take her away. But the only question that I had that I was trying to think of was, if you think about, there's a lot of like JUCO guys that are D1 caliber in baseball that just didn't want to go D1, wanted to get drafted after 2 years, whatever it may be. But I don't know what the spread is on golf guys. Is there a D1 player just going to dominate this whole thing, and it's just not going to be fair or benefit anybody else? And I also didn't know, you think about, okay, so there's guys and girls in this. How do they keep that fair? And how do you play? I know there's girls at our club that could beat every guy left and right every day because obviously they have the ladies' tees that are moved up and they're on every green and 2, sometimes 1, depending on where it is.
So don't note me on this, but I'm pretty sure that the genders are kept separate. So there would be a female
they are separate.
female tournament and a male tournament each week. I mean, it could be co-ed. I'm not exactly sure, but I think I
Okay.
do remember reading that it was going to be kept separate.
Okay. That makes that a lot more fair because I was like,
Yeah.
wait a second, I don't know about that.
I mean,
Just
so
my
the
thought.
thing, yes, I think that we'll definitely see these tournaments each weekend just be dominated by, and I don't mean dominated performance-wise, but just by population, by junior college athletes. Simply because, like we said, the junior college guys and girls don't have a season this fall where they normally would. They don't have tournaments to go play for their school where they normally would in the fall. Whereas, like the example that I use, my buddy that plays in Division II, his fall season got postponed, but he still has tournaments to play to represent the school this fall. And so, in talking with him, he was like, "Yeah, I would love to go, and I'd love to go play Pinehurst, but there's no way that I could go and play all of these." So, in my opinion, I think that the junior college guys and girls will probably benefit the most from this simply because it gives them somewhere to play and a potential for some sort of benefit later on. Maybe if they have uh, ambitions of being professional at some point. But at the same time, you just have to wonder, when is it becoming too much of an expense where you're paying almost $300 a weekend to do this, if not more?
Well, I think
And I don't
That's where I was going to take it. Is it kind of goes with socioeconomic status, not to just make this a huge deal, but you look at socioeconomic status, and some players might just choose junior college simply because they can't afford to go to a big D1 and play. And they could go and be like a number 5 player on the team at a D1 and be a walk on or not have a huge scholarship, or they can go play 2 years for free at a JUCO and then transfer to a D1. So I almost feel like ones in their shoes might be set back a little bit, and just not everybody has $300 just to play. I mean, that's just for the golf. You don't even include travel and hotels and all that in there. I mean, I would have to say, I mean, that's not
That's a
just
valid
like a
point.
$300.
Yeah.
It's not just a $300 trip. I mean, you're probably looking at double that when it's all said and done between food, travel, and stay. That's just the golf, you know what I mean? And then you talking practice rounds and all that. So I don't know. I just feel like that money, that kind of money is just hard to come by for a college player. So I think it's funny that that's not. I mean, I understand why, but I think it's funny that that's not, like a university, paid for thing.
Yeah, so we have to remember that the reason that is what it is because according to these different leagues like the NCAA, they're not allowed to be treated like professionals, and that's not the best way of saying it. But as athletes with the NCAA, I know for sure you are not allowed to be given anything, or you're not allowed to have anything paid for you unless it is by the school. So that's why I think they have to have these entry fees paid out of pocket, because it would violate or it would terminate their eligibility if it was taken care of for them, if that makes sense. So to your point, when is it worth it? Because like you said, it's not going to be $300 to play, and you could play. Let's say that one of these athletes lives right next to the course that the tournament is at that weekend. So they're probably looking at a maximum. The entry fee is the most that they're going to pay, $265. They're going to play. They can go out there and they can get their butt whooped. Okay, and that's best scenario. That's the best case scenario for them as far as like financially. So you don't have anything guaranteed. So is it worth it or not? That's what I want to try to get out of us today.
I think
I'm
that
curious
for your stars that come into the field, right? Like you have guys that go into college from different from backgrounds where they are really good, where they've grown up playing golf, and essentially it's kind of like seen of like, okay, this girl's got a chance of going pro already just from watching them grow up playing. I think for those type of players, it'll be super beneficial because like it is the rankings, you can benefit those and grow your status as is while you're graduating from school. Now, you got guys that were okay throughout high school, maybe even just started playing in high school and get to college and like they're good at the game. They're just not like shooting low 60s, say, sometimes. like to get that big points in a tournament. I don't know if it will so much benefit them as well as it will those other players. It's just so, but at the same time, I feel like it could if they go out there and I don't want to say get lucky, but like have a killer day or a killer 2 days or a tournament, and then just boom ranks them up.
See, I think that's the beauty of it all, man. You know, like you never know how you're gonna play. Just like we were talking about with this past weekend's tournament, you never know how you're gonna go out there and play and how the competition's gonna play. So
Yeah.
I mean, as far as who it benefits, I mean, I think that's the whole purpose of the whole thing. It could benefit anybody, really. You know what I mean?
It's a gamble.
If not from like a point standpoint, then from an experience standpoint.
Yeah.
I'm curious to see if the colleges start picking this up, like the JUCO colleges. They aren't spending the money for the whole team to travel. Maybe they take 3 or 4 kids that approach them about this or rotate throughout the weekends, and they sponsor that with the money they would be using to put towards the season anyway, or something like that. I'm not sure.
I thought about
that could be a great
too.
way to get the team still working.
Yeah. How their JUCOs, since you said they're not going to have a fall season, right? Can they still do, because it's not NCAA technically, could JUCO schools still pay for their players to go do this in the fall? Or would it still need to be at the expense of per player?
Yeah, so that's something that hopefully we'll have more information on moving forward. But as of right now, you know, and that's what I was talking. I can't remember who I was talking to about this, but I was like, you know, it's weird how little information there is about this, because it seems like upon first read that this is a huge opportunity for so many young golfers. Yet I've only seen one article on all of social media about this, and it's basically the article that announced it. I haven't seen anything else.
Yeah.
So I'm not really sure. I'm not really sure how that would work. I just know that, you know, like I came from a junior college. I spent my first 2 years playing baseball at a junior college and transitioned to Union, which is NCAA Division II. And one thing that I had to do was go through the NCAA Eligibility Center and answer thousands and thousands of questions about, you know, have you ever had anything paid for? Have you ever received any money? Have you ever used your likeness to, you know, promote anything? It's like all this. So I just wonder if that comes into play at all. Like if they would have to admit that yes, my junior college paid for me to go to Pinehurst and play in the tournament.
Yeah,
that's a good
point.
question.
And, you know, so again, it all falls back on the eligibility. But as far as what can be made of this is, if you look at a lot of professionals who are constantly playing, who constantly play well and are constantly up there every single weekend, male or female, most of them have had pretty good amateur careers. I mean, Tiger Woods isn't the greatest example to use simply because he is like the greatest golfer to ever walk the planet. A lot of those guys and females who play very well have histories of playing really good amateur golf, really good amateur tournaments after they've been in college.
Holy cow.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. So, I mean, you know, to me, it seems like it's just like a head start for them, right? If they do plan on doing that. But,
yeah,
you know, we'll see. That's enough for that. We'll definitely see. I'm interested to see how it turns out and if they can get the minimum of 60 each weekend that they promised. So,
yeah.
So we'll look and see. We'll move on. Probably our favorite segment we've done so far is the Hall of Fame, baby.
Yes.
Hall of Fame is it's our favorite segment that we do here on Golfletes, and I think it's definitely got the best feedback from you wonderful listeners. So this week's Hall of Fame is post-round meals. So this is what we choose to eat once we get done after a long, hard day of 18 holes out in the summer heat here in the South. What do we choose to indulge ourselves with? So we'll do it the same way. I'll pull up a random number generator, and that's how we will decide our order. We'll get to it, man. I'm excited for this one. This one's going to have a lot of controversy simply because I think we're going to have a lot of picks taken off the table very early.
Yeah, it's going to be very irritating very quickly.
So, Brian,
better have as much hostility as the candy
number one
segment.
Nope, not number one, Brian. Don't get your hopes up. You're the first. You're the first on my screen. So whatever number comes up in this generator is what position you're going to pick in, and it is 2. So Brian, you are number 2. All right. Hunter will be next, and Hunter is number 5. Sorry, Hunter.
Damn, I got host this 2 weeks in a row. That's 2 weeks in a row.
But hey,
come on.
But you get 2 picks in a row though.
That's
so
true.
maybe that'll help you. So Jesse will be Jesse is next, and he'll be number 3. Number 3 for Jesse.
Okay.
Tao is next.
I like that. Right in the middle.
Gonna be a damn Kit Kat.
This
Post
gotta
game
be-
meal. Kit Kat.
Tao is going to be number 1.
All right.
Let's go, baby.
I guess So
Let's-
that leaves me at number 4.
Woo!
So if I remember correctly, hopefully you guys can help me out. It'll be Tao, Brian, Jesse. Is that what I said?
Yep.
Tao, Brian.
Yep.
Tao, Brian, Jesse, me, Hunter, and then we'll do
Correct.
snake style as always. So we'll start at the top, go to the bottom, and then work our way back up. Each person gets 3 picks, and this can either be a fast food chain or like a specific business that offers food, or something that you make at home yourself. Whatever you want, whatever you feel like is to you best. So let's get it rolling, boys.
All right. So for me, all right. Say we get our post-round meal, right? You just come off the golf course. You've shot a really good round, right? Like not your best, not your worst, but relatively good compared to how you normally shoot. Obviously for me, I'm going to Taco Bell right away. Like because
Didn't see that one coming.
I'm leaving the
No.
course. I'm leaving the course extremely happy that I played well, and the first thing that I want is a nice ice cold Baja Blast. Absolutely, that is the first thing that I want. I'm getting that. I'm getting a quesarito because they're gonna be gone soon anyways. Might as well pick one up. And I'm munching. I'm going to town.
You will feel
Surprised
that
you didn't say
later.
like a salad.
No, you build an
Surprised you
immunity.
didn't say like a garden salad or something like that.
No,
You freaking health freak.
Some
No.
mixed greens.
no,
Yeah.
never.
I like to go home and eat my mixed greens, my vegetables,
Just a can of
to
spinach.
recover properly.
My whey protein.
Yeah,
my
hilarious.
way,
My way.
my
gosh.
Nutri-Grain bar.
That's good.
All right, that was a good one, man. I think I
like
had Taco
that.
Bell on my list. I just didn't know if I'd get to it.
I had to
that's
do
a
it
good one,
first.
man. Let's go.
Good pick, Tao.
Number 2.
What you
Number
got,
2.
Brian?
For my first pick, post round meal, I'm gonna go with the good old classic Baconator from Wendy's.
Yes.
Ooh.
Damn.
Might even get frisky and throw in
Pretty
a
good.
Frosty.
Oh.
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 Okay, now we're getting
Just
dangerous.
a single, not even a double.
Oh, you always get the double. Always,
Always
the
get the
double or the
double.
triple.
You get a triple. You got to get a heart attack. It's just,
Oh.
I wish the viewers could see how Brian.
at
was
Brian,
built
man,
and
bro.
the fact
Hey.
that he's eating a triple Baconator. Stand up, Brian. Show him that little skinny belly.
What about say?
I don't know if you want to stand up tonight, Brian. I think you're all right, buddy.
Appreciate it, bud.
Forgot he had his boxers on under that.
Oh, man,
Yeah,
I put some pants
I
on
wasn't, I
now.
wasn't
did
gonna
ya?
go there, but the cat's out of the bag. So
Oh, his cat was going to be out of the bag, all right. That's what I was worried about. This is PG.
For the viewers, I was doing what any good podcaster should do, setting up my podcasting space. Okay, I just happened to be in my underwear when I did it.
Just so happened to be.
That don't make you a bad guy.
Boys.
Anyway,
Don't make you a bad guy.
Not at all.
that's right.
all right,
Number
number three.
Number
Number
three.
three. No context needed here. I'm going straight to Chick-fil-A. I'm getting a large number one combo with a sweet tea
That's a good
and
one.
some Chick-fil-A sauce.
That's a good one.
For the
So
listeners,
that-
that's just
that
a
was on my
classic
list.
chicken sandwich and some waffle fries. Classic.
I'm
Ooh.
about it.
That one
It
was
does
on my
sound good,
list.
though.
You took that one from me.
Question, Jesse.
What sauce?
Do you put cheese on it?
Have before, don't every time.
Okay.
And Chick-fil-A
Question number
sauce.
two.
Respect for
What
sure.
sauce? Oh, Chick-fil-A sauce. Fair enough.
It's good sauce.
Yeah,
That's
Good
my
sauce.
that's my favorite too.
Or I tell you what, this is a hot take here, fellas. I don't even know if y'all have ever had it before. The honey roasted barbecue sauce. It is
Yes.
phenomenal.
Polynesian all the way.
Yikes. Yeah, I'd take my
Honey's good
chicken
too.
sandwich.
Brian, you're out.
I did
Get outta
mine.
here.
I just
Oh,
did.
Brian,
gosh.
you're off.
You
I
guys.
didn't know I was doing a podcast with a bunch of chum buckets.
I take
Yeah,
my chicken
boo,
sandwich and my
Polynesian
fries,
sucks.
dip them both in ranch. That's it.
Oh,
Bunch of-
God.
Brian,
Really?
I revoke. You are no longer on the Golfletes team, Brian. Get your stuff. You're fired.
You know what?
Get out of here.
You know what? I'm gonna take
Take your
all
Polynesian
this
sauce
money
with you.
come Somerville time. So you're gonna
Oh, boy.
be eating your birds.
Hit the showers, Brian.
Y'all just don't know what's good for you. That's what it is.
What you got,
Just
Scott?
don't know what's good
God,
for
man.
you.
My first one, Jesse may know what's coming up here because I think I ask him for it every single time we get done playing, and not only do I do that, but I talk about it the entire round. But I like the good old All-American Classic McDonald's, man.
I like
love
that.
McDonald's, dude. It's so weird because like here of late, I didn't pick up on McDonald's. Like I went through a phase from like my sophomore year of college all the way like through my senior year, which was just last year of like no McDonald's. Didn't eat it. I think it was because I watched the Super Size Me thing on that used to be on Netflix.
That makes sense.
And that just ruined it for me, dude. I was like, you know what, man, McDonald's ain't for me. I got plenty of other places to go, so I'm not going to go to McDonald's. But I don't know, dude. That's like here. I think I went one time because I was like, you know what, I'm just going to eat dinner tonight, but I'm going to eat super cheap. I'm going to go dollar menu, and it turned out being not so bad. So now I play most of my rounds at Somerville Country Club with Jesse, and they have a McDonald's right down the road, and it's just right on my way out of town. So,
Nice.
so I hit the McDonald's drive-through, and I get the number 9, which is the 2 cheeseburger meal and fries and a drink.
Look at that. I
Plain-
want that number
plain-
9. No onion.
Meat, cheese, and ketchup only. That's what I say.
Scott,
Yeah.
you know what's crazy is we stop at McDonald's on the way into Somerville Country Club. We get
Dude, I
breakfast
couldn't
too.
Hey, listen, as hot as it's been out Somerville Country Club the past like 3 or 4 times that we've played, there's no way that I can do
No,
that.
I'd
I would
be like a
puke my
rock.
guts up.
Be a rock on your tummy.
Man,
Whew.
that's my
Who's got the
number
last pick?
1. So let's Hunter's got the
Let
next
me
2
bring it
picks.
home. And everybody is about to be jealous as shit when I roll this one out there.
Doubt it.
The Texas brisket sandwich from
Doubt it.
Fire and Smoke. Best
Oh,
And
man.
post-round meal.
I'm
Fire
about
and
It's a good
Smoke,
post-rounder.
baby. Fire and Smoke,
That's a
Whiskey's
good one.
Tower, Texas brisket sandwich.
It's good.
Damn
good,
it all.
Good store. Good store,
It's a
buddy.
good one.
Mhm.
That is where we went after
what's your
Jesse's
next one,
bachelor
man?
trip round, and it's a good one. My next
That was
one,
good. That's good.
I got to give a shout out to my mama on this one. She's been trying to get the family on a little health swing, and it seems like every time I go home, I drive all the way from St. Louis to Memphis to get a couple rounds in with my dad. And I come home, we're having these damn Arbonne shakes for dinner. She put some fruit in there.
What?
That's literally just a damn shake for dinner. I said, Mom, what are we doing around here? Where's
Look,
filter
Dude,
and
that is
air?
not even American.
That's what I was like.
Look,
one of my
Tal
buddies
was
asked me.
smiling when you said that.
Tal knows what
Tal
that
was
is.
smiling when you
Yeah,
said
Tal
that. He's
said-
like, yeah, that's
Oh,
what I love that.
Yeah, I drink those every morning.
I was
Uh-huh.
like, now
No
we're
idea what
talking
you're talking
dirty.
about. I love
Now we're
that.
talking dirty.
One of my buddies asked me one time, he's like, Hunter, what do you and your dad have when you get home for dinner? What's mama making? I said, well, we're probably going to go home and effing filter air because that's what she's having us do right now with these damn shakes. So,
You better have
And it's
him
actually-
see this, man.
it's actually
She's
not
gonna be all
bad.
you, dude.
That's right.
dude,
You
she's
gonna
been,
get nothing next.
she's been riding me
She's
hard
gonna
enough
bring the
about being
belt out on
heavy.
you, brother.
Dude,
That's right.
bring it on, Mama Flo. I know you're not.
So
watching.
that's your pick? A shake?
That's my pick, dude. It's actually good. I was getting there. It's not bad, and it fills you up much like a salad, and it's helped me shed some lbs.
So it
I
does.
can't complain.
I'm with
That'll
that.
work.
Yeah, I'm with that.
Hey, man.
I
It's
knew
your
I'd
pick.
get
Not bad,
Tal
man.
with that
It's your
one.
pick.
I knew I'd get Tal with that one.
So that was your second one. So we'll work our way back up. So this is my second pick. My second pick is very similar to my first pick. I go with the BK Burger King because they have the.
Man,
Listen. In my defense,
Listen,
Chick-fil-A was going to be one of mine. I was hoping that the number generator would treat me nice. It did not. But Chick-fil-A was my second. They got taken away. My next one was Burger King because they do the 10 nuggets for like $1.39.
That's a good deal.
Okay.
And
That-
they offer,
It's a good deal.
and sometimes if you catch them on the right day, they'll have the spicy ones. So I go and I
Ooh.
get like 30. I get like 3 10 pieces, like 30 of them
Done
spicy.
for like $5.
And I just, yeah, like, and that's with a drink. It's like $5. I just smoke them.
dang.
Such
the
a
thing,
good
though.
deal.
Here's the thing: you got to get barbecue sauce and then honey mustard and mix it together. And that's the sauce. I don't know
Never
what sauce
tried
that
that.
is.
I think Jesse and I
man.
stopped there one time before we played, and we got like 40 each. And that was
It's
just a
probably-
bad
We did
It's probably
that one
still
time.
like $10.
Oh, it hurts.
all-
Jesse, we did that one time out in front of the McDonald's at Kroger. You remember that?
Yeah, we did.
All right, Jesse, what you got?
All right, so this is a local thing for me here. I'm a huge fish guy, so I got to go to the Hut. Shout out the Hut in Somerville. I'm gonna go get the 2-piece catfish plate, some fried catfish, hush puppies, and some French fries.
Ooh,
Little mom and
Two
pop
minutes.
shop.
two ain't enough for me. Two
With a
ain't
cold
enough for me,
sweet
though.
tea.
Ooh.
I need about 4.
Dang.
After a hot round, you're sweating your butt off out there. 2's plenty.
Who's playing? you
Man,
go.
that sounds good right now.
That does
Oh,
sound
yeah,
really
no.
good.
It's
I'm
good
hungry
fish.
again.
Y'all see about it here in a little over a week.
Dude, I'm about to go eat.
Yeah.
Wow.
Brian, what you got, man?
So I'm gonna kind of go with a little local one, but a Carterville local one. When we would get finished playing back in high school, back when we all lived in Carterville, one of my favorite places to go was the classic Tex-Mex place, Booyah's. And for those that don't know
Oh,
I
what
knew it.
Booyah's is,
Mhm.
it is a like I said, it's a Tex-Mex place, kind of like Qdoba or a Flying Burrito,
Chipotle.
Chipotle, yeah, similar to
Oh,
that, but way better.
If you,
Yeah.
there you go. Sounds
That's
good.
what-
I've never had that.
Yeah, no, all right, we're gonna go then. It's
Scott,
set.
we gotta go.
Gunner,
Yeah,
we're,
that's like-
Gunner,
it's-
we're
we
all
gotta
coming to
go now.
Ridgeway, and then we're going
Yep.
to Booyah's after.
Yes.
I don't know.
Rounds
I was
on
gonna, I was
Phil.
gonna say. I don't know that.
Rounds on
I don't know
Phil.
that I don't know that the listeners know that I'm like I'm the one member of the group that lives just outside of Memphis, Carville area, so that's why I don't know what that is.
Mm.
Oh,
Like,
that
that's
makes
fair.
sense.
That's
Scott,
fair.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Scott, I'm in town this weekend. Rounds on me at Ridgeway. We're going to play this
Oh.
Saturday afternoon, and we're going to Booyah's.
I'm your Saturday.
You heard it here
Don't
first.
send me like that.
And Tao and Brian are my third and fourth because Jesse's playing a tournament. Otherwise, Jesse, you would be in.
Yes. Yes.
Got to get a warm up tourney in.
All right, Tal, you're 2 and 3, buddy.
Oh man. So I had a debate because I had like 3 of them going around my head all day over it. I'm gonna go with my second choice for a post round meal. I'm going to Old Freddy's, and
Ooh.
you better believe
Ooh,
I'm
okay.
getting me a
Good
nice
steak
like
burger.
triple steak burger and some fries. Oh,
Yeah.
I could
Scott, are you a
Don't
steak and
forget
chicken
the,
guy?
destroy
don't
that.
forget the don't forget the fry sauce.
Oh yes,
Freddy's sauce. Love
yes.
it all.
That was oh
I like. I'm not like a. I'm not gonna say that I prefer Steak and Shake, but the few times I've been to Freddy's, it just seems slightly overpriced. And I got a patty melt, and it 'cause I love a good patty melt, and it tasted like I was biting down on like. I don't know. It was so thin that it was almost not even there.
yeah.
It wasn't actually like a patty.
That
I don't know.
deserves a boo.
I'm
Well-
saying it's not good.
Here, I will say this: I was picking
I'm saying it's
between
not good.
that and Steak and Shake, right?
Mm.
And the only
Okay.
reason I didn't pick Steak and Shake is because they don't have the 7 for 7 anymore, and
Oh.
that's upsetting. Do you know what that is?
Only Tao gets a 7 for
It's
7.
a 7 patty
Seven
burger
burger.
for $7.
Oh. They had
That's
that?
a
Yes,
Tao
and
meal.
I destroyed
I was
it.
eating.
Did you have to
several
eat
of
that
them.
with a fork and a knife?
No, you just pick it up and like, just go after it, and pray your jaw doesn't
Demonstrate on
break.
your mic. Just grab your mic there and demonstrate for us.
So if this
It
is a
looked like
burger,
that's
we're-
not the right size.
He pulled the Patrick Star. He pulled the Patrick Star, opened his mouth, and vacuum cleaned it.
Could I
Yeah.
have some of this super duper terrific sandwich? Yeah. So my
What's
third
your
pick
next
though,
one, man?
my third pick is it's cheap, and honestly, it's because it's cheap, it tastes better than it is. You go and you get a nice Little Caesars pizza.
Oh, gross.
Dude, $5 for a large pizza. I will devour it on the way home.
Yeah.
And some crazy bread.
Oh my
On
God.
3, Brian. On 3. 1, 2, 3.
You guys all suck.
Sorry, Tao. Sorry, Tao.
It's okay.
I know we're off on the side stories, but I just got the biggest flashback in the world from high school when my parents said, have all your friends over, but make sure they eat before they show up. And Tao shows up with 2 Little Caesars pizzas at my house, just ready to go to work by himself. And he ate them all. He ate all of them.
Attaboy.
I remember you made
God.
burgers at your place, and I ate 5 of them. And your mom was like, "What are you doing?"
Goodness.
Brian, are you back
All
up?
right, number 2.
Wrap
My,
it up.
Last one.
my final pick for post-round meal. I'm gonna go with. There's 2 I was bouncing back around before between. I'm just gonna go with Nukes. I love a Nukes Q.
Yeah.
Nukes Q sandwich.
Okay.
Yes.
Little
Fair
breadstick
I do
thing.
that very often after a post round, but it always sounds good. So third
Mhm.
pick.
Can I get the little breadstick thing?
I like nukes. I just never crave it, if that makes sense.
I never think about it,
That's a
Yeah.
good point.
I
You know what I mean?
don't think about it.
Yeah.
I never think about
That's a
it.
good point.
but I love it.
All right, for
All right,
me,
Jesse,
this is
last one,
not extremely healthy. It's not like Hunter Slim Fast post round, but it's it's pretty good. It's the Cajun chicken club sandwich at Zaxby's.
Ooh.
And
Ooh,
also,
good call.
also, this is a hot take here. I substitute the fries with the tater chips.
You're already
They're
wrong.
delicious.
You're already wrong.
Dude,
The
Zaxby's
tater-
fries with
Tater
Zax sauce.
chips. Scott
Yeah.
is beating the shit out of you right
hear
now
it.
on his camera.
See, I feel like I probably put out a good first half, and then I just lost you in the second half.
You
of
had
that
us in the
pick right
first
there.
half.
But,
I'm not
that's
gonna lie.
Yeah,
That's my pick. That's
just
my
like
pick.
your golf round the other day.
Yep.
Yeah.
Damn.
Hot take.
Dagger.
Just came for the
Shot.
throat.
Hot take.
My last
Yeah,
pick.
Scott.
My last pick is just going to be the good old cookout tray. Shout
All
out
right.
local establishments
Oh,
of
it's
cookout.
respect-
God, you went all fast foods, dog.
Hey, look, you just spent
Not just
how-
regular fast,
how-
like super fast foods.
exactly. But here's the thing: you just spent no telling how much money on a round, how much talent, like on balls. You're making all these expenses to go play around, and you're coming home. You're trying to save the money, trying to get home
Valid
so
argument.
you can get a shower, save your money, get something good to eat. There you go.
See, that's
I'm
understandable
not even gonna.
when you lose a
I'm not even
12
gonna
pack
say
of balls a
which food.
game.
Yes, exactly.
When you leave
I
the
won't
whole
even say-
case.
I won't even say which items on the menu for the tray because they all work. It's all good.
They're all good.
That's fair.
Jeez.
That's fair.
All right, I'll round her out here. So, when my mom is not making us filter air like SpongeBob, I do enjoy after a round at Ridgeway. Thank you, Scott. Thank you. That's what I was. Insert meme here, Tower, like right here. Just put it next to my face. It's about right there. But Ridgeway has some of the best buffalo chicken wings I've ever had in my life. They're spicy, a little bit of sweet, really good homemade ranch. Just a great A. Just get one of those. Nice little cocktail after a tough round of getting pounded,
Oh, there we
and
go.
just good
There
to
we
go.
go.
I'm not gonna lie, boys. I'm shocked that was the only one that mentioned a clubhouse.
Dude,
shocked.
I'm not eating at the clubhouse
Yeah,
if I
I'm-
have a choice.
I'm-
Well, this is a
I'm
high dollar
surprised,
clubhouse though. This is like
that makes
this is
makes
dad.
sense. When
This
I go
is
to the
daddy's money getting
Boondocks and
involved.
play in Somerville, I'm not gonna eat 3
Well,
glizzies off the grill after I play.
I'm surprised Jesse didn't throw in a glizzy
you
from the
don't wanna-
settlement.
You don't want a $3 glizzy, but you want a $3 McDick's burger
No, that was Scott.
or Cerrito from Taco Tico.
Absolutely. That is not even that's not debatable. If you're telling me a
Jesse's a
quesarito
glizzy
is not the
goblin.
bee's knees, then you're telling me something wrong.
They're good. They're good,
Thank you.
but not that good.
Boy.
Oh wow. And that was a good segment, dude. That's one of our better Hall of Fame. That's up there with Candy, I think, for sure.
That was a good one.
So if we can
Everybody
convince
get
our
your
good
Arbonne
boy
shake.
Tal down here, if we can convince our good boy Tal to maybe make a poll like we did last week, we'll do that. Also, while we have the time here, I do want to thank you guys for participating in our poll last week of our scramble groups. If you
I
missed
blame
last
Tal.
week's episode, we did a Hall.
Yeah, Tao cheated
did a,
everyone.
uh,
Tao
Hall of
cheated.
I did not.
We did a
You
Hall,
cheated.
Hall of Fame of good old boys where we picked our scramble teams for entertainment purposes only and not performance purposes.
Which was
However,
not specified
Tal
in the
did
rules.
Tal did win. He did not specify, but luckily this week we don't have those variables. So maybe if we can convince Tal to put a poll up for us, he works hard all week, so we don't want to.
That's right.
We don't want to push it too hard, but if we can do that, we'll do that. Hopefully, you guys will vote and see who has the best meals. Let's move on. We have another new segment this week. It's called This or That, and that is when we are going to have two different this or that. We got two different options. Two different options. Each golf fleet will get to go through and pick which one of the two options that they like the best of the topic that we choose each week. This week, it is driver or passenger of the golf cart. Very controversial topic. I think everybody has their preferences. So we'll go in the same order. This time, obviously, no rounds. It's one pick only. And so we'll go in the same order of our draft of our Hall of Fame. So, Tal, man, let's start with you. Are you a driver or are you a passenger when it comes to the golf cart?
I'm going to be honest. I normally ride passenger, but I would prefer to be a driver. And I'll tell you why. Because when I duff 3 chips in a row to get it onto the green, right, and I am fuming mad, and if I go to get into the passenger side and they drive off a little without me grabbing onto the cart, I'm just going to be even more pissed off. I'd rather be able to hop in there and shove my foot through the ground as I break the pedal to drive to the green than have to scream at somebody like, stop, because I didn't get on all the way.
Tal, that was perfect, dude.
I like it, dude.
Oh my god.
That's awesome, man.
There you have it.
Who's next? Who we got next? Who was second?
I'll be honest, Tal, I completely understand where you're coming from there.
Yeah.
However, I'm definitely going to say I'm more of a passenger when it comes to the cart. Because when I'm mad, when I'm mad, I just don't want to drive. Like, I'm pissed off, man. I don't want to have to worry about driving the dang car to somebody else's ball who hit a good shot when I'm 25 feet in the woods next to the white oaks. Just don't want to do that. And that way I can sit there and think about what I have done.
I hear you. I hear that.
That's me.
That's good. That's good. Jesse, what are you, man?
I'll say this. Probably 90 to 95% of the rounds I play, I drive. Just because we end up playing at Somerville so much. Just playing out there so much, I don't really ever get to ride. But honestly, if I had to pick, I just like riding. Like, there's just something about just being able to relax, not worry about having to drive the cart, like Brian said. You just step out and grab your club, hit, then you get to sit back down, not do anything. It's relaxing. You get to just chill. So I think I'm more of a passenger myself, even though I drive, like I said, 90% of the time. I wish I was able to ride more.
I'm glad I get to ride with you.
You could always just switch your bag over. And
might make you drive.
Dude. So when it comes to me, my this or that, man, I want to be the driver. And here's why I want to be the driver.
Pilot.
I'd like to. It's not so much a control thing. It's just that
for
some reason it feels like anytime that I play with somebody and I so happen to be the passenger, it seems like I am the only one on the entire planet that has a presence of where we are. So, like, what I mean by that is, it just seems like every time I'm the passenger, we end up going off the cart path, over all the routes, over all the way down the hill, all doing this, and I'm just like over here like this in the cart. Man, I just hate that, dude. I hate it, and I don't know. And then I worked on a golf course one summer, so I kind of see that was cool for me because I was able to see what a course goes throughout a summer of 2 or 3 months, and a lot of the not damage, but a lot of the damage and like the wear and tear comes from carts, not even so much from the golfers themselves, but it's from carts. And so, like, I'm a big 90 degrees no matter what the conditions are, so I'll drive down the cart path, and as soon as we get right next to whatever ball we're going to, we'll cut across. But I don't know, man. I like to be the driver. I like to be in control of the vehicle. Plus, Jesse's one of the world's worst about driving just all throughout the place, and when me and Jesse ride in the cart, which happens a lot, it seems like we're always paired in carts. Our balls will be like split in the middle of the fairway. And I'd be like, if I'm driving, I go right in the middle of both balls so we both have an equal distance to walk. I'd be dang if Jesse don't drive straight up to his ball and just like gets out, hits his ball. And oh my gosh, like don't even get me
Whoops
started.
it
I'll have
reverse.
a rant.
Drives three circles around his ball.
Then
Just
I'll make him
stop.
walk to his ball and
Yeah,
then walk
makes me
back to the
walk to my
cart. I'll even
ball.
pull up.
Or this happens almost every time. He'll get out, hit his shot, and like leave the cart on the cart path. We're on the opposite side of the fairway. And he's like, all right, Scott, you got the cart. And he just starts walking up. And I'm like on the green already because I hit my shot first. I'm like, what do
I'm
you
not really
mean?
sure how that makes sense. If you're so-called on the green, but how am I saying, okay, Scott, you got the cart
Because
after
that's
I've
what
hit it
you
first?
do.
How does that make sense, Scott?
Ask yourself.
Tell me how that makes sense.
Ask
Are we
yourself
playing
that.
ass backwards here? Is that how we're playing? Is that how this works?
I don't know. That's just how
I think
it
you
usually
just
works
confused
out.
the hell out of the listeners, if we're being honest, Scott.
No, you're confusing the listeners, okay? I will say this. I
think Scott's just mad. I'm just trying to get his steps in for him. I mean, that's
I don't
trying
need
to help a brother
I
out.
don't need my steps.
He's eating all
I get
these.
my
He's
steps
eating
on
all
the
these
golf course.
these 2 cheeseburger meals from McDonald's. He needs to get all that sodium out of his system. He needs to sweat, brother.
I'm 6'4". I am 6'4", 200 pounds, soaking wet,
Nice
coming out of the
flex.
pool. I do not need my steps. I don't need steps. Okay, I
Me
need.
neither.
I need like
You need
squats.
something.
I need
You
squats.
need
You do
something.
take-
And I'll let the
You take
listeners.
longer
I'll let the
steps, though, than
listeners
he does.
guess at what that might be, Scott.
Oh my gosh, son, you get me riled up every single week. I tell you what. I
Let's
will
go,
say
baby.
this: the
Fire it
one,
up.
the one way that I have gotten back at you over the years, we played at a course out here in Jackson one time, and there was a steep hill, and it was raining. It was soaking wet. I was driving, and it was hilarious for me, but also not very hilarious for you. As we go down the hill to get to your ball, and we just spin a whole 360 around, like we're like this, going 360 around, and Jesse's just over there. Like Jesse has to have just the biggest turd in his pants at this point, and it was so funny. And so I got
We
back.
did
to
a
you
whole
there.
revolution and a half. I mean, it was
mean,
terrible. And honestly, Scott, have I let you drive me ever since that day?
No.
Probably not. Honestly, I think I'm scarred.
We were Tokyo drifting that golf cart, son.
I
They
It
could've
was
watched.
made-
something.
I watched
they could've
It was
made
Jesse.
like
Fast
Vin
and
Diesel
Furious.
and Paul Walker, that bad boy. R.I.P.
I watched Jesse one
Alright.
time go to pick a ball up while he was driving and fall out of the cart. He straight up
That
ate
has
it
happened.
out of this cart.
Jesse
And
has
does not
happened.
need to
then he
drive.
looks at me sitting on his butt on the ground and goes, "Don't you tell a soul."
He just told a ton of people.
Oh my
He just
god.
told- he just told
Hand
the
slipped
world
off the
now.
wheel
Alright,
and
hey,
it just was a unhappy
Oh
ending.
my
So-
god.
Tal, with that, tell us to which one are you, man? The last one.
Yes,
No,
which one?
Hunter's
I
the
went
last one.
first.
No, it's me.
Hunter-
I'll bring her
Hunter,
home.
you tell
I'll put
us,
this
man.
fire
Finish up.
out.
Yeah.
I'm kind of a passenger kind of guy. I try to think back to all my rounds, and I feel like I've played better as a passenger because I think I relax a little bit. And then, kind of like Brian said, usually I'm in the middle, and the rest of you clowns are in the woods, so I got to drive you over there and go help you find your ball. Well, I got to go chase
Oh,
mine down a
man.
little bit later. And I just like to, I like my tunes on the course, so I get to DJ. I don't have to mess with driving and trying to play music and just kind of
Yeah,
chill a
that's
little
good.
bit. And I'm a
with
big
that.
fan of the driver, or not the driver, the glove box, like good old kick with the bottom of your foot when you have a bad shot.
Yeah.
Big fan of that.
Yeah.
Can't do that when you're driving. So there you go.
That's where you come in with
Speaking
the
of,
I like that,
foot
speaking
man.
of the glove box, man, as a passenger, you have so much more room than the driver has.
You
I feel
do.
like.
You have like the whole
Much more room for
like
activities.
2/3 of it.
You are
So much
limited
more
as a
room for
driver, that's
activity.
for sure.
That's good, dude. That's a pretty good reason. I didn't think about that, Brian. That's good. I think that's a good first round of that segment. Hopefully, we can see that segment some more. Again, if you listeners out there want us to do one of these segments with one of your topics that you have in mind, please tell us. We will definitely do it. We will not shy away from taking on suggestions from you guys. With that, we will get to our last part of the podcast today, and that is what we have been waiting for weeks. WGC FedEx St. Jude Invitational.
M-Town, hold it down, baby.
M-Town, hold it down, brother. Man, we have been looking forward to this. We have been looking forward to this, man. I tell you what. So let's talk about the feature groups this week. The feature groups this week are as follows: John Rahm, Bryson DeChambeau, and good old Slick Rick. That's the first one.
Ricky.
Okay.
2 out of 3
Next
pretty
one?
good names.
Those are three good names.
2
Next
to 3.
one. The next one is good old Webb Simpson, Jordan Spieth, and Rory McIlroy. Okay.
Fan
Pretty
favorite.
good one. Yeah. The next one is P. Reed, Brooks, and Victor Hovland, Jesse's boy Victor. And then the last one is Colin Morikawa, Brian's boy Hideki Matsuyama, and
I did pick
Justin
him.
Thomas. Justin Thomas. So those are our feature groups this week. Before we make our picks, there's other notable. I mean, this is a World Golf Championship event, so obviously you have to be a top 50 to be in this. So the names are absolutely loaded in this weekend. But before we make our picks, let's talk about I want to make sure I get this right. What they're calling this. Where'd it go? It's okay. Here we go. The FedEx Cares Charity Challenge. So that is a 9-hole round that will be played by Victor Hovland, Henrik Stenson, Brant Snedeker, and Billy Horschel, which those 3 guys have all won the St. Jude Invitational, other than Victor Hovland. Victor Hovland is kind of the new guy that they're going to throw in this group. So let's talk about that for just a quick second. Obviously, a ton of the guys, all the players come in and they talk about how fun it is for them to be able to have interactions with some of the St. Jude kids, which obviously this weekend probably won't be able to happen, which is so unfortunate. But it's talked about every year, and so many of the guys talk about how much they love coming to Memphis solely for that. But I think that's a big reason why they're doing the FedEx Cares Charity Challenge tomorrow. By the time you're listening to this, it'll probably be over, but that is on Wednesday, the day before the warm-up round. So what do we see coming out of that? I want Jesse to start, man, because Jesse, your boy Victor, is in this along with 3 other big guys who've won this before. So what do you think, man?
So is this a scramble or is this like a best ball deal or how is this played?
I am not sure. They have not released those details.
Scramble.
So yeah, it's probably a scramble.
I think it's a 2-man
Okay.
scramble.
I mean, regardless, I think for the last few Wednesdays they've been doing these Wednesday charity matches and stuff, and
Yeah,
I'll be short and sweet here. Anything for charity is wonderful, and it's the WGC event here in Memphis is big for for FedEx, but it's also really big for St. Jude, and as incredible as the people that work at St. Jude are, and those kids have a fighting chance, it's because of all the money that FedEx is able to raise, and not just FedEx, and but they play a big part of it. I mean, it's just incredible, and I think this charity match is just a fun way for regular people to watch. Even whether
That's
you're
right.
a St. Jude patient or a regular old Memphian, I think this is going to be great for the city of Memphis. Just like it is
That's
every
right.
year.
it will be, man. It's going to be awesome, and we look forward to it. Of course, it'll be on TV, so we'll get to watch it there. But unfortunately, we will not get to go and see it in person. That's something we had planned on doing long ago. We planned on all going as a group this year, but hopefully next year we'll have some fans and we will go out. And hopefully by then our page will be so much bigger than what it is now, and we can maybe bring you guys some awesome content. But regardless, let's finish up the episode. Let's make our picks. You guys have the list in front of you of some notable guys, and then also the Vegas odds. So we have the top 19 as far as Vegas odds go in front of us, and also the feature group. So anybody go, we'll go, and obviously if somebody makes a pick, it's not off the board, and you can make double picks. So anybody, let's start rolling picks out this weekend.
I'm going to go with old Rory.
Fan
There you
favorite.
go.
I like that.
Never a bad pick. He's never a
Never.
bad pick.
Nope. Can't go wrong.
Let's see. Let me pull up this.
I'm going JT.
Good pick.
I'm
Good
feeling
pick.
good about him. I'm feeling pretty good
I would
about
love
JT.
for him to win.
I would like for
I
him
I
to
would
would
love
win.
for him to win.
He's
I
due
would.
for 1. He's already had 2 this year, but he's due for number 3. Also, if anybody in the Memphis area that lives on the Southwind Golf Course would like to invite the 5 of us to come watch in our
Yes.
backyard, Give us a ring. We're gonna put
Please.
Scott's number right here along the bottom, right at the
Yeah.
bottom
No.
of me.
I
Call
will
Scott.
bring.
Everyone
put
spam
my
Scott
phone
if you
number-
don't.
Put my phone number right here. If you live on the golf course, call me.
I will
provide
bring a
refreshment.
charcuterie board.
We'll
You
bring.
know
We'll
what that
bring.
is?
We'll,
That's fancy.
You have like 5 of those. You're getting married, Brian.
Hey, don't you boo me. You know exactly what that is, and you
I'll say
love it.
this. I'll go.
Well,
You know what? I'll go on record and say this: if somebody invites us out there to the tournament, I will skip the Summerall Country Club Championship this weekend just to come out there and watch some golf.
yes.
you weren't gonna win anyway. It's all right.
We will.
Nah.
I don't know what we'll do, but we'll do something for you, and it's gonna. We'll put you on
Yeah.
the pod. Something. I don't know.
We'll bring
I don't know
all
what
the Diet Millers you could dream of.
son. Anyway, man, that would be awesome.
We'll bring some Arbonne shakes. We'll get
Some
we've got an
Arbonne
endorsement
shakes.
there.
That will not be happening. I can promise
but-
that.
Yeah. Brian,
Sponsor.
Brian, who you got, buddy?
Go ahead.
I'm gonna go with a guy that's come close, Jordan Spieth.
Okay.
Oh, it'd be cool to see him win too, man.
Good pick. Good pick.
Jordan
Yeah.
Spieth.
You almost can't
Man,
pick
he's
wrong.
been playing really good this year. No, not in these events, man. Like we've said before, these events are loaded, dude. You can't pick wrong here.
No.
Who else hasn't gone? Who we need picks from? Jesse, we need
I'll
your
go
pick,
ahead and
man.
go. Yep. I'll go ahead and go. I'm going to go with a guy who won back-to-back years in 2016 and 2017. I really like him at this course because he's had so much success, and he's won already this year. I'm going to go with Daniel Berger.
Was that your pick, Scotty, or what?
No, I don't know. I'm not huge on repeat winners, especially not. And even though it wouldn't be a third repeat. It would just, I don't know.
Fair enough.
I think golf is one of those crazy sports. Even if you know the course, sometimes it just comes down to
Just
the
like
golf you're
Augusta.
playing. So
We were clearly
Yep.
big on burgers.
that's
so I
exactly
don't know
right,
what your
man.
problem is.
I'll go. Okay, so I'll give you my pick, and this is going to come out of the wazoo. You boys ain't even going to think that I'm going to say this.
You're about to
I'm
pick
going to go with
Kuchar,
my
aren't you?
boy. No, I'm going to go with my boy Gary Woodland.
Okay.
Gary Woodland.
That was going to be my other pick there. That's a good one. That's a good one.
Damn.
I like him.
Gary's been a guy. I love Gary, man, and there's a lot of guys that I'll say that about. But something about his game, he's just he's worked so hard over the past few years, especially here recently since last year to get back up there on the leaderboard, and he's had a pretty decent year this year. I don't think he's won anything yet, but he's come very close, and I feel like this weekend will be his weekend. So that's my guy.
I like it.
So
I like
Wilson Stinger.
and then just for some more information, John Rahm is the Vegas favorite this weekend.
He ain't
with
winning.
10-1 odds. So he's the Vegas favorite, and then we've also had a lot of people on social media who get paid to share their opinion about golf say that Tony Finau it's his weekend. So we will see how that goes, man.
That's
I know
honestly
we were
who I
talking
thought
about.
you were going to pick.
He's
Yeah, I
got a
thought
good
Jeff-
chance.
I thought Jesse
I
was
hope
going
he
to
has
pick Tony.
success. I love Tony Finau. He just can't win. Just can't play on Sundays.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I think we got our
Thursday through Saturday, the man's a beast. On Sunday, he just can't play.
I hope he
I
doesn't.
think we
So
saw
good.
that at Waste Management.
I hope he shoots a 52.
What's that,
Waste
Scott?
Management this year, we definitely saw that he tied at 18 with Webb and just couldn't pull it out and had a lead going into. So, but that is our podcast for this week. Man, that was good. I really do want to thank you guys for taking the time out of your night and your afternoon to come on. It's always fun. Thank you guys for the listeners. We couldn't do this without you guys. We as I said last week, we had our expectations for what we thought this was going to be, and you guys have absolutely blown it out of the water.
Oh, goodness.
So thank you for that, man. It is just so nice for us to see that we are making a positive impact on you guys. Like I said earlier on the show, follow us if you're not, because if you're not, you're definitely missing out. It's at Golfletes for most of ours, except for our Twitter. Our Twitter is Golfletes1. You'll see that around the screen here. And as always, feel free to reach out to us and talk to us and send us topics or maybe segments or whatever you want us to talk about, whatever you want to hear. Let us know, man. And I do want to give one shout out before I go. My really good buddy, my best friend. His name's Cayman. He's a good listener of the show, a big fan, and he's a recently ordained minister, and he got to preach in front of his first congregation on Sunday and did an awesome job. So I told him I would give him a shout out
Congrats.
because he's one of our best listeners, man. He's listened every second of every episode so far, and I promised him I would say something good about him. So
Appreciate
congrats
you.
to you, buddy.
You're the
Congrats to
man.
you,
That's
buddy.
awesome. Shout out to Cayman. That's awesome.
Yeah, man.
Good episode, guys. We will see you guys next week, and don't forget it's lefty loosey, righty tighty.
That's right.